about what you're doing in all these different fora.
Thank you.
Yeah, making it really come to life.
Your time will come, Delphine. But yeah, no, I think it's great as well, Kate. I think it's great, especially, this is a process that you're going through, and actually once you've got your website up and running, you're going to want to become more visible because you're going to be excited about sending traffic to your website. You're going to have content on there that is right for your audience and that you're going to be proud of. And so it's really great to just up your visibility, and that's what's going to start generating some kind of momentum. That's when you start experiencing some kind of traction.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. So don't let me forget, Kate. So after this, I saw that you'd done a brilliant test Facebook Live in my secret group.
I was just sitting on the sofa last night, and Wayne had gone to bed feeling poorly, and I was bored watching the telly. I thought, I'll just see if I can do this Facebook Live thing. So I just, there's the button. It says live. Oh, that must be it. So I pressed it. Okay, I'm on.
Oh my God! So you can test run Facebook Lives within a private group. Of course you can. Yeah.
Yes, you can. So what I did ages ago, so I before I kind of morphed into WP Happy, I was going to originally be WordPress for Coaches, was going to be the kind of title of my new sort of company and entity that I was creating, until I realized that somebody else was using it. But by that point, I'd already set up loads of social media stuff for WordPress for Coaches, and one of them was a private Facebook group. So, of course, I just shelved it. I didn't do anything with it. And then I don't know if any of you were around when Cass did his branding stuff within the...
Yep.
Yeah. So Cass had never done Facebook Lives before, and so he was nervous about it. So I went, I've got a group that nobody's in, so why don't you hop in there and test it? So he did. And then so when Kate said she was going to do one, and I said, if you're not confident, you just hop into this group and test it. No one will see it. It's just an opportunity for you to be in there and try it out. So if ever you want to test anything, Delphine, then you're more in my WordPress for Coaches group. But the more people I tell about it, the less secret it's going to be. But, but actually, it's not. So the first Facebook Live that I did was to a group, which it had a couple of hundred people in it, but it felt like a really safe, supported group. And
nice.
it was a real breakthrough for me that there was nobody kind of pointing the finger and going, oh, you looked really stupid, or it was just like, oh, okay, so I could do this and nothing terrible's happened. So so I think it's good. It's and in fact, actually, Kate, so I hope that you'll feel that way on Friday when you do it to my group as well, because people just value that kind of information. And so after this, if you want to do one with someone live on the call with you, then I'm really happy to do that.
That would be great, and thank you very much, Vicky, and I would appreciate that live feedback. Also, before I do it, probably just a quick chat after this about what it is that we want to put in there, and who the audience is and what the live is about, just so I can get the context, and then I'll be able to speak a bit more clearly, hopefully.
Brilliant, perfect. Okay, so we'll start with you, Kate, because it sounds as though Delphine probably hasn't done much since last week. So let's see where you're at, and if you've got any questions.
I have fallen behind yet again, unfortunately, so I do apologise.
Don't apologise, it's fine.
I have started working on my client avatar, which... The first time I did this, obviously, in Shelley's group was several months ago, and I reflected on what Delphine said last week when she was doing hers, that it's kind of changed since then. And yes, she has very much changed. And my initial avatar was based on me as I used to be. Now my avatar is based on my current one-to-one client, as she was when we first met, because obviously I've got a really good understanding of her. And she's an ideal person to base my avatar on because she bought my services. She booked the one-to-one with me. So so I'm kind of using her and realizing that, there's a lot of aspects to her that will apply equally to other people. So really drilling down into her background. Obviously, I've changed her name. And in terms of her experiences and her pain points, which I know a lot about because we've just done week 9 of the course, then that's really helping. And particularly in what you were saying on the training video about making sure that anything that you do marketing wise is speaking to them. And I think part of my problem has been, perhaps I have been too general. Perhaps I'm not resonating with people because I am perhaps a bit too general in my approach. So I'm really sort of taking that on board and thinking, okay, how can I change the messages that I'm putting out there to make it just that bit more relevant? Yeah. So and for instance, the live group, the live anxiety support group that I'm putting together, initially, I had a real sort of smack in the face with it, because my own personal demons prevent me from putting myself out there in my local community for fear of rejection, ridicule, people, imposter syndrome and all of that. And someone gave me a kick at the backside and said, stop it, just get on with it. So I kind of did. Hence the group started. And then somebody messaged me about it, said, is there a cost for it? And I said, yeah, it's a really modest cost because this is for low-income people. So it's £12 for someone to attend the group session weekly for 12 weeks. So it's not a huge investment for most people, although it is for some. And she messaged me and said, oh, well, I wouldn't pay for something like that because blah, blah, blah. And I go to... so it's not Alcoholics Anonymous, but it's a support group for families, and that's free. And I was thinking of setting up something myself, and I just thought, well, for the first 2 hours I was fuming and really annoyed and upset, thinking, oh my God, is anyone ever going to want to pay me to help them? And then what do I charge? Because obviously this is a completely different market than the website is aimed at and everything else. This is just something to generate a bit of income because I'm skint. and also, I hear you. I'm in good company. And also to get my name known more locally. And then I sort of sat back, and once I stopped being really peed off about it, I thought, that's me not getting my message across. People are not understanding quite what this is. Are they expecting a freebie from a charity where they can go and sit and have a cup of tea and talk about the problems? Or do they know what they're actually going to get from this group, which is, yes, partly a forum to sit and share and support, but they're also going to get me, and they're going to get what I can help them with and the things that I can teach them. And what they're actually going to get is information that's on my one-to-one stress management course, which is, worth a lot in financial terms, but is really going to help them. I thought, I need to change my message and get that across to these people so I can share with them that I can empathize about anxiety. I know what it's like. I understand how it is. And these are the things that we can do together in the group to start to overcome it. So that's part of the reason why I've been doing the videos, to try and help that message come across a bit more. So
well done for working through that, because that's a really difficult process when you're feeling aggrieved and you feel like someone's given you a punch in the stomach, to actually come back to it and ground yourself and think, okay, there's a reason why this has happened. So, and it's great that you recognize that, and also it means that you're valuing what you've been through in terms of your learning process. This isn't you just giving an hour of your time. This is like years of training for you and years of in yourself for you to be able to help other people. So, and that's all part of the learning process as well. It took me a long time to start to recognize someone isn't just paying me for an hour of my time. They're paying me for 15 years experience and the thousands and thousands of pounds that I've invested in my own training. So actually when somebody says, wait, so, why don't you just charge £10 an hour? Like I could go out and get someone on Upwork or something. It's like, well, because, you've got to value what your own worth is. So
you're a qualified professional.
Yeah. Exactly.
A lot of experience.
Like you say, this isn't, a forum where you're giving out free coffee and for people to just have a chat. This is you giving out really solid, sound, qualified advice. So yeah, and the other great thing about that kind of encounter is that it starts to build up in your own mind what I like to call an anti-avatar. So that woman, she is not your ideal client.
That's very true.
And that's okay. That's okay.
So an anti-avatar is almost as valuable as an avatar. So if you can start understanding what the characteristics of the people that you don't want to work with, then you can easily say no to people who don't fall within the kind of remit of your ideal clients. So that woman, you can take a good look at her and you can start writing down some of her characteristics in your anti-avatar.
I'm going to start stalking her on Facebook. Yeah. I think she's really one of these kind of passive-aggressive type weird people that just have chips on the shoulder and expect, well, I don't know what she expects, but yeah, no, thank you for that.
But also, Kate, for me, there's a big challenge in shifting out of the non-profit sector into psychotherapy, like professional psychotherapy, because obviously a lot of psychotherapists come from a, empathy type personality where you're very tuned to other people's needs, and I have this whole political ethical idea that everybody should have access to services, but that doesn't necessarily have to be on the back of me being bled dry of energy and money, and that's something that the government should be providing. So that really helped me to kind of debate it out with people and figure it out for myself that it's not my role to be supplying services that should be available, should be subsidized by the state. Probably it is better in the UK than in Ireland, but this whole thing as well on the mindset type webinars about people who can't afford the full fees often are not going to have the transformation that you need them to have, or that they could have, because they're not willing to invest in themselves. So I've been trying to kind of overcome that myself by investing in processes such as this, and saying, well, I'm worth it because I want to be reaching people who are who are okay with spending money on themselves. And some of my psychotherapy clients are at that juncture where they're not sure, or it's a bit of a luxury, and so that's something they have to overcome to actually really invest in their own transformation. So I'm trying to apply that psychology to myself as well. And remember that there's people you might really, really want to work with, but their circumstances are quite chaotic, and they're just, you're going to end up in the ditch with them, and you can see the potential, and you go, oh, if things were just different for them structurally, but that's not my role to fix, so that's a constant one for me, to not get pulled into that sense of, what should be available or what I could be doing. Because I've been working in a charity type context for 15 years, and I'm done. I'm so done with that.
Yeah.
I can give back later when I'm financially, super solvent and healthy, and have more income.
Yeah, and you've probably done a lot of giving already, so your ledger's definitely in the black there.
Yes.
Well,
that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, it's useful to have that kind of conversation, and because all of that's going to feed into your own confidence as well, in terms of self-worth. And just going back to your client avatar, so the fact that you're basing it on your existing client is brilliant. Let's just say that your existing client or your avatar is called Sally. What you should now be thinking about when you're doing these videos, that you're starting to embark on this journey of doing more videos and getting more exposure and doing things like the Facebook Lives and that kind of thing, is all you need to do is be having a conversation with Sally. That's what it's all about. Every video that you do is just a conversation with Sally. So forget about the millions of other people who are on the other side of the screen watching you. It's just all about her.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's really helpful.
Yeah, thank you. Going through the avatar, it's almost done, and I'll post it when I've got I won't say a final version, because that's the perfectionist side of me. I will post it when I have answered all of the questions, even if it's the first time.
A working draft is fine.
Exactly. And I was looking at my holding page, and I wanted to put my photograph there as well as my logo, because it isn't vanity, because it's my name is the business, and my business is very personal to me, both on the one-to-one personal stress management front, but also the business stress management front. People are going to buy from me. Yeah. They're not going to buy from a company. So I would like to have my photograph on my holding page. And when I've done that, I've put it in the header section because I couldn't work it out. Ideally, I would like it next to the logo. So I've got the logo on one side and my photograph on the other, sort of similar size. But I couldn't see how to do it, so I just stuck it in the header bit, and it's ended up with this enormous photograph of me. That's a little bit too much, me. I like me, but that's a bit too much, even for me. So I was wondering, how can I change that so I can get my image next to my logo and at a reasonable size?
Yeah, let me have a look at. Hang on, I'm on my wrong computer. I don't think I've got your login details. Are you logged in?
I am.
Okay. Let's. Would you mind sharing your screen, and I'll take a look at how that page is created, and then because if it's a full width header, if we use a full width header slider, then we can do it more easily, I think.
Okay, can everyone see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Brilliant. Okay, so if you open up that page, okay, holding page header. So just click onto that, and I'm just going to see what the module is. I think it's if ever you need to know what kind of module you've used, you can just open it. I mean, you see at the top in the purple it says
full width header.
Excuse me. Full width header. Module setting, excuse me.
Bless you again.
Thank you. So if you scroll down there, okay, logo image.
Sorry, yeah, there's the logo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the logo, and then it said header image. Yeah. So I just put my usual portrait photo there.
Yeah.
And when we look at it, it's massive.
Okay.
It is much bigger than I ever wanted it to be.
Okay, and so it's not where you're wanting it to be either, is it? You want it to?
No, I'd kind of like to have the logo more this side and my photograph this side.
Yeah. Okay.
If that can be done.
Yeah, I don't think it can be done within that kind of module. I'm just trying to think if it can even be done in a slider module. So I'm gonna look into that. So you basically want two side-by-side images.
Yeah, there's me thinking that was going to be an easy question.
Well, what I'm thinking, let me just have a look at your page again. What I'm thinking is that there's a really easy way to do it, actually, which would be
when you see my page.
Yes, I'm looking at your page, and what I would do is
can't get to it. Hang on. Can I? This page.
Yeah.
Because my photograph isn't on that for some reason. I did update it.
Yeah, I was wondering how you'd got it saved onto that page and it wasn't showing it. But I think what I would do is I would create a section that's the same as that green section along the bottom. So you're basically going to be redoing some of the content. And you could just have image modules that are side by side would be the really, really easy way to do it. And I can show you what I mean in a moment.
Sorry, it's just gone a bit bonkers. Come back.
There it is.
Yeah, right. So, sorry, forgive me. What was it? You wanted me to create another one of...
So I would be tempted to just... I would duplicate that Contact Me section. So on the blue section of the Contact Me, so I would click on, go one down to the little duplicate.
Oh, sorry.
So that opens it up. So what you actually want to do is, clone that section. And if you scroll down, you'll see it underneath. And then you can remove that contact me gray area by clicking on, yeah. And then where it says insert modules, so you're going to click on that. And you can do an image module, so scroll down a little bit. Click on the image. And then you upload an image there. So let's just click on Kate on that image of you, and let's just have a look. So it's almost 800 pixels wide. So ideally, what you would probably need to resize it, but we'll try it without you resizing it. So let's just set as image, and then save and exit. And then in the green section, you see where you get like it's a little kind of 3-column. Yeah, if you click on that to change the structure of this row, and click on half and half, and then insert the module in the right-hand side, and go back to your image module further down, and upload your logo, whichever one you wanted to use, and do set as image, and save and exit. And then we're going to go into the blue section. We're going to edit the blue section because we want to change the background, because at the moment it's going to be green. So click on there, and scroll down to those colors. We're going to change that to the kind of creamy buff color that you've got, and I'm hoping it's in your palette, but if it's not, we can grab it. So if you click on there, yeah, so you've got that
one of them is, I'm not sure about the other one.
Well, let's just click on there, and if you click on that kind of buff color again, so go to your orange one.
Sorry, this one.
Yeah, and click on that middle kind of creamy yellow color that you've got. So you're just going to click on there, and then you've got the sliding scale of it, so you can slide it so that it's lighter or darker, whichever way you're wanting, but I think it's lighter. I think you're wanting the lighter one.
I can't remember what I did on the last one. I suppose the best way is for me to copy the numbers from the previous one and do it, because I think I did that this way with this one.
Okay, so you can get it to exactly how you're wanting it with the other, because the other color looks really great. So you can go and copy that exactly. But for the moment, you can just do save and exit. And then underneath here, so you're going to click on add row underneath the green section, and then click on the full width column, which is top left.
Yep.
And then click insert module, and you're going to click on a text module. So you're going to go further down. There you go, there's your text. And then you're going to add the content. So you can just copy and paste from, if you go to your holding page, if it's open in another browser, there you've got your holding page. Right, so click on there and just grab your, whichever one you want to start with.
That's the that was the content on the other one, as opposed to the headings.
That's fine. We're going to do a text module for each of those. So if you paste that in there, and then just do save and exit, and then you can just duplicate that text box. By clicking on that. And then, so your next one, you're going to go back to your holding page and take out brand new website coming soon, if that's what you want. And replace that. Now I have a feeling we did that as a heading 2. So you want to go into design. I would click on the design tab up at the top. Oh no, you're right. You're absolutely right. If you go back to content and you select it as a heading 2, it might just do it automatically for you. You need to highlight the text first. Oh no, it did it for you.
Right. Okay.
And then can you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we'll put in an admin label. So we'll just put coming soon, just so we don't confuse ourselves with which text module is which. and then just do save and exit. Now you're going to want to pull that to the top, so you just grab it anywhere. Yeah, when you get that crossbar, that's it. And then you can duplicate either one of those. And then you're going to go back to your holding page and grab your header. And go back, yeah, and then replace that. And then do that as a heading 1. Oh, it already is because
it's done it automatically. Yeah.
And then you can do save and exit. Oh, sorry. Let's scroll down and put a title on it so that we know it's that bottom one. But you can just put header text or whatever. Yeah, okay. And then take it up to the top. And let's see what it looks like. Let's take it all the way up to the top above the previous module. So you're going to grab anywhere on the kind of, that grey area and drag it all the way to the top of the page. There you go, stop there. Actually, before we hit save, let's go into your full width module and grab the colors. So you're going to click on the purple bit. I think we did it in the purple bit. We'll see in a sec. Scroll down and no. So it's in the module itself. So we'll click on the grey bit. And I can never remember since they changed it whether it's in.
Oh. I don't know what that was.
I just muted Delphine. Delphine, I just muted you. Sorry. So yeah, keep going down.
There we are.
Go. So you can grab that colour there. So we got a sneak preview.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you can close out of this if you've grabbed that colour. You can close out of that module.
I'm just going to grab this colour as well.
Oh, is that different from the one on your colour palette? It looks a bit darker.
I honestly don't know where I got it from, but I kind of like it and it works, so I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then you can go back to that blue section on that module above. That's it. Can I just say you are navigating around like a pro? Looks like you really know what you're doing.
Okay. I used to be a good actor in school. I always got picked for the school plays.
Okay.
There we are. Fantastic.
Perfect. And then so you can save and exit on that.
But thank you for the compliment.
And what I've realized we haven't done is center your text in any of those text modules. So we just need to go back in and center them. And you might find that the styling, like the colors, I'm not sure if we've set them correctly, but that's the kind of thing that you can come back to. So I would go into design, actually. I'd do it from the design tab because it gives you an option for whether the text is going to be centered or not. So if we scroll down, we should have text orientation. There you go. And then save and exit. And if you just duplicate that for all of them. That's why it's quite good to actually publish and view one of them first before you duplicate a whole load, because then you don't need to go back and correct each one.
Yeah, this is what I spent a lot of time doing the first time I did this. So this is normal to me, which is probably why I'm navigating so well, because I had to keep going in and out of everything so many times to to get it. So, but look at me. This is me, not stressed.
Yeah, absolutely. See,
this is me coping.
Just sailing through it. Okay, and now let's have a look at it. So if you just publish that, you're not sending traffic to this page yet, are you?
No.
Okay.
No, it's hidden. It's hidden away. It's hidden from the world.
Because you're going to have this header. You're going to have this header twice when you. So you go now to your holding page, and you're going to hit refresh. And keep in mind, you're going to have this section twice over. Okay, so you're going to need to make Kate smaller.
Yeah.
The general effect is there, and obviously you're going to need to style your text so that you've got those the right colours. So you've got them in these colours that you had there. But that's the idea of an easy way for you to handle that kind of having them sitting side by side.
So is it literally just resizing this image here?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, so you want to do that in something like Canva Photo Editor.
Right.
So you pull it into Canva Photo Editor, upload it there. And so at the moment, this is, it was 799 pixels wide. And I think it was 1200 deep. So you probably want to, I would say that half of that is probably going to be about right. So you probably wanted about 400 pixels wide.
Yeah. Ideally, I'd kind of want it at the same height as it were as the logo. So it might end up being quite a bit smaller. And I want it on the other side of the logo so that I can flip it. But presumably...
Yeah, you can do whatever you like.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. That was clever.
Shall I tell you what I think would be quite nice with that image is because you've got the circles in the logo, is if you put your image in a circle with a purple border or a green border.
How can I do that? I like the idea and thank you, but how do I achieve that?
I don't know if you can do it Canva Photo Editor. I would let me hit refresh on this page, and I can pull it off there and I can send it across to you. So because I can put it into a circle with a border around it, and I do it in my image editor. So it'll only take me a moment to do it.
All right, thank you.
So, and then I guess you just need to decide if you want what color border you want. I would suggest that you go with the purple, so there's a kind of contrast between the
purple is fine.
You and the logo. Yeah, and I think that
works. Yeah,
because then also you see how you kind of got the block of color behind you. Having it in a circle would kind of minimize the kind of blockiness of it. Do you know what I mean? It would kind of take away from that background color that looks like it's been slightly plonked onto this sort of creamy color background.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So great.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you for that. So I need to check out Canva and get with that.
Yeah, there's probably a way that you can do it with Canva. I need to get a bit more up to speed with Canva so that I can advise you guys on how to use it, because at the moment I just do everything in Photoshop. And I'm aware that, obviously that's not a piece of software that anyone has or is prepared to learn, because it's quite a hefty piece of software. So yeah, I must try and get a little bit more on board with Canva so that I could just say to you, okay, this is how you do it in Canva.
That would be great.
I went into Canva yesterday for the first time in ages and noticed that they've started charging for their templates, which is a new thing. I mean, is that...
Have they?
Yeah. I went to just load... I was just going to put up a Facebook post, and I thought I'll just see what it's like to create it in Canva for the reasons that we've just been mentioning. And it was going to charge me $1 for it. And I thought, well, maybe they're just charging now for their templates. So I just backed out of it. I didn't hang around to have a look. I do know that iStock Photos just launched a a photo editor. I haven't had a look at it yet, so I don't know what it's what its kind of capacity is. But yeah, I think
with Canva it depends what way you go into it. I can't remember, but I remember thinking, oh, that's sneaky, because I would have thought that I had to pay if I'd followed this route and continued. But when you back out of it and go to the homepage and just click on which shape post you want to make, it's still free. There's two different ways, I think. Like,
there's a pro version, isn't there? There's a pro version and
there is, yeah. So you can, and then some of the templates, like not the actual template for the whole shape of the image, but some of the, like, there's paid options within all of them, whether it's shapes or images or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember thinking that was sneaky, because I was like, oh, they've changed it, but they hadn't. So I think if you go back in and go back to the homepage,
yeah,
somehow, or maybe there's some shapes you have to pay for and some not. Like, I think basic Facebook posts are still free.
Yeah, okay. I'll explore it further when I've got a little bit more time to play around with it, because I know it'd be helpful for everyone else as I'm going through stuff if I can say, oh, look, I just created this on Canva. So, okay. Brilliant. Okay, so hopefully, Kate, yeah, I'll send you that across and then you can upload it. And obviously I'll send it to you in a big size. So I'll use the size that's there, and then you can scale it, because then you'll probably find that you might want to use that in other places at different sizes. So if you've got it at a bigger size, you can scale it down, but you can't scale it back up. So if I sent it to you at 300 pixels, then you can't then put it at 400 pixels without it looking pixelated. But if I send it to you at 700 pixels, then you can scale it down to whatever size you want.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That's brilliant.
You're welcome. Okay, so did you have anything else that you wanted to go over?
Not really. I noticed in my Dropbox that I've got all of this stuff here, all these backups. So is this my website backing up to Dropbox now?
Yeah. So your Updraft Plus is going straight into your Dropbox. You don't need to keep all of them. In fact, you can set it up to delete some of them after a certain amount of time. So you can either do that through Updraft Plus, or you can go in and you can automatically do it. So you can see that it's backing up weekly, because I can see that those top 4 were taken on the 28th of October, and then the ones prior to that were on the 21st of October. And these are the different kind of elements on your website. So you can see it's taking away your uploads, your themes, and your plugins. So your uploads are things like your media files, your images, and those kind of things that you've uploaded. Your themes are things like Divi. Your plugins are things like your Google Analytics and those kind of things. And then anything else is in that others one. So that's why you've got it 4 times over.
Right.
There's just different elements. And in fact, the one below that you've got your mouse hovering over is the database backup, which is the db.gz. So you could go back, if you scroll down, if you're wanting to get rid of some of those from Dropbox, then you can remove them, the ones that are older than a couple of weeks. Just because otherwise you're going to go over your data allocation on Dropbox.
Right, okay.
I would keep them for a couple of weeks. And the other thing, I'm quite surprised, I thought that they would go into their own folder. So I would be tempted to just create a backups folder and just put them all, just for the sake of tidiness in Dropbox.
I'm not entirely au fait with Dropbox either, and I obviously use it. I know it's there, but it's more sort of trial by fire whenever I need it, rather than understanding how it works.
It's just a filing system, basically. And if you were to scroll down to the bottom left, they've changed the interface quite a lot, actually. So I'm still finding my way around it because I don't use it excessively. But down on the bottom left, it'll say something like create a new folder. It's beyond our new shared folders over on the right hand side. You could click on that and you just have website backups, and then you can pull everything across into there if you're wanting to.
Right. Okay.
Do you have to do that manually, Vicky, or can you set it so that the backups go in there?
Well, I thought that you could set it so they could go into there, but actually I'm thinking about it now and I'm thinking maybe you can't. You could probably, I wonder if you could set up a Zap for it, if that's something that you don't want to do.
I paid for that Zapier and I don't really use it anymore.
Oh, well, it's stop your payments on it if you're not using it, because
I did the one-off payment. I thought that was a clever thing to do, but then anyway, it's not that expensive. It's fine, but
yeah, it's not.
I paid for the year, so I might as well use it. But
yeah, so use it just for little things like this. You set it up once, and then it's done. So I mean, I can't guarantee that it will do that for you, but it will. I'm sure that there will be Dropbox apps. Let me just have a quick look.
That's cool. I thought it was just literally for managing email data or client data.
Oh, it is so much for you. It's really.
I must explore it. Yeah.
So yeah, especially if you've got it and you paid for it, then explore some of the stuff that it can automate, because these kind of little things. I'm just on their directory now, and I'm just having a look at Dropbox. And I'll share my screen with you so that you can see. So I'm just stopping your screen share, Kate, and it's just pulling in Dropbox at the moment, but it's really phenomenal. If you've got 5 minutes to look through, why did it not do that? If you've got 5 minutes to look through the Zap directory, it can do amazing stuff. So things like adding files to Dropbox by sending an email, add folders to Dropbox. This is there's 100 for Dropbox. There's 100 Zaps that you can do.
Quite magical.
Yeah.
So, my backups seem to be going into a folder called apps and then updraftplus.com. So they're being tucked away in a folder, but it's called apps.
Okay, so maybe you could, if you go to Updraft Plus, you might be able to specify which folder they go into, Kate.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'll have a look at that. And just make a note. Updraft Plus Dropbox folder. Lovely. Okay.
Okay, so was there anything else that either of you wanted to go through?
Not personally. I had a report back on one of the software applications that we're using. Not specifically for this, but the GoToWebinar, which is if you cancel your subscription, because I'm paying monthly for it, and I'm going to stop that shortly. If you then reactivate it, it reactivates with your original account. So you do get access to all of your old stuff that's there. So, which I didn't know, so I emailed them to ask them, and they said yes, it does. You'll get back your old account. So if you're just paying on the monthly, then you can stop payments and then reactivate it when you want to.
That's such a good idea. I was wondering the same about Adobe, and in the end, I was a bit worried about losing my images and stuff, and I got a moratorium. I went to cancel it, and they offered a 60-day no pay deal. So I ended up staying with them, because I think I also was locked into a 12-month contract. I was very gung-ho. When I was in Shelley's group, I was like, yes, just pay for all this, make it work.
Yeah, me too.
And it was the same with GoToWebinar, actually. Somebody in Shelley's group that I was in said they tried to cancel their GoToWebinar, and they were offered a lifetime or year-long 25% reduction, or was it 15% reduction in the fee? But I actually just totally cancelled GoTo because it's so expensive, and I knew that I wasn't going to be proactive about hosting webinars in the next 3 months, because that's not where my energy needs to be. I need to write lead magnets and do written content. So I actually just cancelled it completely. But good to know that if I pick it up again next year and decide that's the platform, that it keeps stuff. What about Zoom? Because Vicky, you're obviously a fan of Zoom. I was enjoying how automated the GoToWebinar process was for actual live webinars, which I don't see myself doing tons of. Like, I hope to continue doing some of that. But is Zoom a real equivalent for you, or?
No, not at all. No, so I don't do webinars on Zoom. I just use webinars. I just use Zoom for coaching calls, and I have meetings and that kind of stuff on Zoom. The Zoom does have a dedicated webinar platform, and I've never tried it. But if you go to Zoom, because I did have a look at it. With an idea of thinking, could I run webinars on Zoom? Because I'm so familiar with it and with all the screen sharing. I love all the screen sharing stuff that you can do on it. But
you're really used to it.
Yeah. But I went to have a look at their pricing, because they've got here we go, webinars and events. So they have a dedicated package specifically for webinars. I've never seen anybody use it for webinars, actually. But the thing that I think is interesting is this live streaming that you can do on it, on the webinar package. So, and this is really interesting to me. And, this is so much cheaper than GoToWebinar. But I haven't tried it, so I can't vouch for it. I can't say yes definitively.
Yeah, whereas GoTo has all the integrations with, it was so smooth to run when you're a total newbie and you don't know what's what, and the way Shelley explained it.
So you can request a demo, so you could ask them about how that could work with the integrations. I'm just having a look and seeing that when I flick through to that, I'm sure it's at £32 per month on the previous.
It did, and now it's suddenly 44 quid.
Is that with VAT? Is it like with or without tax or something?
Maybe, I don't know.
There's a little asterisk there. There's an asterisk on the last one.
Yeah, there was.
To 100 attendee, then can't see that the.
You must have at least one pro host to purchase these add-on plans. Okay, so when you're on a paid plan, which is about £12 anyway, then you can add it on. The video webinar. So I guess if you're just doing video webinar, then that is going to start about £44. That makes sense.
It's still a third of what you pay with GoTo. But GoToWebinar, I was actually keeping it on because I was doing my coaching, my one-to-one coaching on it, because it was a really lovely platform for that as well.
Me too.
And I was paranoid about confidentiality with Skype.
Yeah, I think rightly so, actually. I don't think there's any kind of privacy settings on Skype. But I think that there is on Zoom. Yeah.
Zoom and GoToWebinar both have privacy settings.
Yeah.
Like they're both somehow more encrypted, because Google definitely isn't. Google Hangouts and everything.
No.
So yeah, those are the kind of things to weigh up. But like if I could afford GoTo, I'd use it for everything. So now I'm going to have to figure something else out when I get a new coaching client, my next client.
Yeah. But, I mean, I really recommend Zoom for these kind of calls. So, and that would be, I mean, I can't remember what I pay. It's like £12. Yeah, £12 a month.
Is that all? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's, it's fairly, it's very affordable.
Yeah. So that's the main advantage, is that you can do everything you can do on GoToWebinar in terms of one-to-ones or group calls, but it's cheaper.
Well, you could use it for free. You can use the free package if you don't need more than 40 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'd normally do an hour actually for coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be a bit rubbish if you were going slightly over and go, oh, I'm really sorry, we've got to start.
Yeah. By the time, because people, sometimes there's a few minutes delay, and by the time you kind of get grounded and mindful and whatever, like I need the full hour.
Yeah.
Connect with someone from a distance. So
yeah.
So that's very affordable.
It is. It looks like a good option. I might look into that, because with GoToMeeting as well, I record my meetings and convert them so that my client has them. And then what I've noticed is they're not recording the webcams. They're just recording the background.
Okay.
So they're not recording the images. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was trying to look in the settings to see, because obviously I'd like our faces to be recorded, so that it's better than just looking at my logo for the hour or so that they'll be watching the recording.
Their customer service is pretty good if you ask them that question. They do loads of, where they're very good as well is kind of training content. They run a lot of trainings on how to make the most out of their system and how to make a good webinar and stuff.
Yeah, and that can be really valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that. I'll have a look at that. But I will when this client finishes, because like you, Delphine, I've got her on GoToMeeting for the same reasons. I haven't got anybody else lined up, so I am going to cancel it. When I have recorded my super duper final perfect automated webinar.
That's the reason why I was still on it.
I still haven't done yet. But as soon as I've done that, then I'll be, and this client's finished, and I'll be cancelling it and moving to something else. So
I just kept my first one in the end, and I re-recorded the beginning and the end. So there's 1 or 2 references to the time of the day, but I just said, fuck it, I'll just keep it on. And because there's an energy, like I don't think I could fake that anymore, because I was in that headspace at the time. And there's a real like energy to me being really convinced by what I'm saying and feeling kind of the liveness of it all. So I just decided to keep it. I thought I wouldn't do any better, or it might sound a bit fake if I did it at this stage, months later. I left it too long, basically.
Yeah.
So I just kept it and just tidied up the start and end and asked my sister to edit it in. I don't know how she did it, but I'll deal with that next time.
Oh, well, that's great. Did she use iMovie or something like that? Because I know there's...
She's not on a Mac, but she used probably some open source. She's really into open source stuff, so she used some sort of simple, home kind of movie editing thing, and popped in like the top and tail where I edited the content. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does need to be. I do need to do it, and also I think from what I've learned, and in particular, again, revisiting this client avatar, which is a really useful thing again to do and to refocus my mind.
Big time.
I really want to refocus the webinar that I'm doing again to make sure I'm speaking directly to her, because who I was speaking to a few months ago is not necessarily who I'm speaking to today. So my procrastination might actually have worked in my favor, because I think it's going to be helpful to redo the webinar based on this updated avatar and have this and the website kind of in sync more. So kudos, Vicky. Thank you.
Yeah. No, but it's great. It's a great feeling when you feel like everything's aligned, like your website is aligned with your messaging and your webinar is aligned with everything that you've got on your website. And so it's good when you feel like it's all coming together.
Yeah.
I'm going to post into the Facebook group my referral link for Zoom, because sometimes when you use a referral link you get a discount on it. I can't remember whether you will or not. In fact, let me just click onto it myself and see. Oh, I've just deleted it, but anyway, it's on there now. I've just popped it into the thing, so you can see. Sometimes they say because you were referred, we'll give you like 20% off your first month or something like that.
Cool.
I'm having a look to see if it's showing anything. I can't see it showing anything up on there yet. Okay.
Actually, there's just another thought about avatars. My website is going to be aimed at 2 very different people. One is a business person and one is a personal person.
Yeah.
So I'll be kind of having two avatars in some respects. So I'm not sure if that's going to overcomplicate things, because there's going to be certain pages that will be for the personal that are obviously going to have a very different tone than the ones for the business.
Yeah. So what you will really need to do for your homepage is think about the common thread and the common challenges between those 2 people. So you can have your personal avatar and your corporate avatar, and you can lead them on different journeys through your website. But in your homepage, you're going to need to make sure that your messaging is connecting with both of them through a common challenge or struggle that they're facing.
Right. Okay.
Is that likely to be challenging?
Right now, I can't think what it is, except stress affects everybody in various ways, and I'll ponder that one. I will have a think. Okay, avatars, corp, and personal.
Yes, your website doesn't need to be led by audience necessarily, but it does need to be led by a solution to a challenge that people are facing.
Yeah.
If you want to post stuff in the group, Kate, we can, if you're trialing out different messaging and stuff, we can have a look.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
If you want to like juxtapose them and see, see what's the commonality.
I'll do that. Thank you very much. I'll need to give that some thought, which will involve a dog walk.
Yeah.
I tend to do some good thinking when I'm walking the dog.
I tend to too. Dog walking or running normally triggers my best thoughts.
We're not all designed to run, Vicky, unfortunately. Some of us are built for comfort.
I do mine in the shower. That's my lazy version. I do all my creative thinking in the shower.
Oh, cool.
Or while cooking, actually.
Yeah.
So is next week a consolidation week already? Is that week 6?
No, week 5.
So we're on week 4 right now.
We're on week 4. Yeah.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Already, frighteningly.
So
are you sure? Core messaging and homepage.
No, because I'm now that you're saying that, I'm not sure. Let me check because I can cross-reference.
Yeah, because I have my notes from last week. I wrote down week 4 last week, so unless I was wrong already then, and I was shifting.
Oh no, you're right. No, this is week 5. This is the site planning and internal.
So you're moving on to week 5. So what you've just completed is week 4.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I thought we should have completed week 4 for last week's call because you had done that, Delphine. You'd done your avatar for last week, and I was a week behind. So I wonder if we ought to have looked at the week 5 modules already for today.
Me too.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was right. I'm looking at this now. I'm a week behind myself. Yeah, you're right. You should have been doing week 5, and yes, so week 6 now that you're coming into is a consolidation week.
Thank God for that, because so there's 2 weeks worth to consolidate though for me because I only did half of week 4. So
Delphine, you're in great company. Do not worry.
So I would just like to calm any unsteady nerves about week 6 because there's lots of optional modules in week 6.
Yes, I'm looking at that right now.
Yeah, me too.
It looks like a very busy consolidation.
None of them are necessary. So the reason why all those are in there is because they're common questions, or they're questions that I think could be useful to other people. Things like, how do I add a social media icon to my social media icon? Sorry, how do I add an email icon to my social media icons? How do I change the spacing between navigation links? Some of this is not going to be relevant to you at all.
Okay.
So you can, hopefully they do what they say on the tin. So hopefully you can have a look at them and you can think, okay, I don't need to reduce space between my columns, so that's not relevant to me. Most of them are just like 5-minute videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
But we are supposed to have moved on to our internal pages, really. Like I'm still at the kind of holding page and homepage headspace, so I need to get through that and then start getting stuck into some of the internal pages.
Yeah,
which are not that big. I mean,
really, once you've done, so your big mission at the moment is your homepage.
Yeah.
And, once you've done your homepage, you're going to find that a lot of the other stuff, you're going to consolidate a lot of your thinking about your internal pages anyway.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Week 4 is a big week, and week 5 is not such a massive week.
Okay, really? Okay, good to know.
Okay.
I suppose I'm imagining traditional websites of, like, say, nonprofits where there's just so much content and there's a whole website and the homepage is the least of it. But actually for us, the homepage is the most important, like the user journey, is more important. I don't have tons of content to put on my internal pages yet. It's more about the structural user journey bit and how I want to present myself.
Exactly. And that's, this is where you are now is what a lot of people neglect to actually kind of plan. And that's why a lot of people find that their website kind of falls flat and they don't get any results from it. It's because they haven't gone through this sort of planning process.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's worth putting the time in, isn't it, at this stage to do all of this and really focus on it.
Yeah.
Do it well. Yeah.
I will not be able to be here next week. I'm sorry, Vicky. I've been doing a course with my local Chamber of Commerce on new business startup. And that has actually taken up quite a lot of time over the last few weeks because it's 3.5 hours, sometimes twice a week. But that's finished and it's the last one that day. So after that, I'm going to be much more free and clear and have a lot more time. So I'm quite looking forward to, even though the blank pages in my diary scare me somewhat, that actually I know I can put those to really good use. So
yeah, don't fill them up. I know.
Like you, Duffy, I'm planning on catching up and really, really focusing.
Divil for over planning my diary. So this is a new era for me now of focusing on one thing at a time.
Great.
As of next week.
Great.
So have a good week, ladies.
Yeah, brilliant. Lovely to see you both.
Yeah, and you.
Enjoy the wedding, Delphine.
Thank you. I will. Can't wait to boogie. After all the serious stuff is over, I'm looking forward to a party.
Yeah, kick back, go for it.
To see my family, we all live in different countries, so it's just going to be great to see my cousins all over from France and the whole family. So
that's fantastic. Okay, well, have a great time. And
thanks a million.
Yeah, sorry, we won't see you next week, Kate, but we'll see you the following week. And if you're getting stuck on any of that week 4, week 5 stuff, then just post into the group.
I will indeed. And thank you so much for your ongoing support as well. Really appreciate it.
All right, lovely to see you both.
Thanks, ladies.
Shall I see you in a moment?
Yeah, let's hop over. So if you now go live in that WordPress for Coaches page, I'll hop on and join you.
Fantastic. All right, I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, bye. Thanks.
Bye.